And we're recording. So let me introduce myself. Let me introduce the name. Still work in progress, but I think it's pretty decent. Name of the podcast is going to be Nothing to Lose podcast. I feel like that's pretty much where I'm coming from right now.
Right on.
And right now I have my guest here, Larry the Lion.
How y'all doing? I'm gonna get my head on straight.
Yeah,
Never looks
I'm over
right.
here doing that too. So Larry, from what I can remember, you've been in the what was it like a little inspiration pretty much around Team Arch for just getting stuff done pretty much.
Yeah. Um. I mean, yeah. I guess. I mean, it's a lot of people say I inspire them, encourage them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to do. Is inspire and encourage people with my story and my journey. Um. I don't hold anything back. For a lot of reasons. I believe in trying to be integrity, having integrity and honesty in everything I do. Um, I don't want to have, if I don't share my complete journey, it doesn't make sense. If I don't share my complete challenges and things was in the past, um, as I grow in the future, I don't have to be like people what they do to Donald Trump, find dirt on something that he supposedly did or did
Mm-hmm.
allegedly did, which I probably did if they found it on me. I'd be covering up a lot of things. I mean, they have to cover up 40 years of mistakes and bad decisions to bad people, and um, a lot of it was crimes that I committed, and just using drugs and alcohol in the way that I did was criminal. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to like where I'm going, where I want to be, and where I see myself is going to be where somebody could use that against me. It would be ammunition they have to bring me down for whatever reason they would want to bring me down. Because there's people just are out there just the haters, So they don't have anything to hold against. They don't have anything covered up against me because I've been honest. Because I've shared my complete story, no matter how painful it is for me to tell it. It's future proofing where I want to go,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm part of the sub two mentorship, and I'm a go giver, and um, I and don't want to be, I want to know who they're if they're going to joint venture me. They know that they know my past. Maybe they don't want to do me. That's okay. It's their decision. That's their choice. But there's a lot of people that do want to work with me, and they do respect my integrity and honesty and my vulnerability in sharing my life. So it's a way to maintain my power rather than having to give it away to somebody hoping they won't find something on me, trying to that is being deceptive because I'm not being truthful. I'm not. It's not that I'm lying, but I'm not being completely honest either. I just so it's better to lead with integrity and be vulnerable. And people are either gonna the people that are meant to be in your life are gonna stay. The ones that aren't, they're gonna leave for whatever reason. Maybe they don't prove, they don't understand. Maybe they didn't know my whole journey. They don't know what I went through, everything. And I'm not saying that excuses anything I did. I did commit crimes. I was on drugs and alcohol. I did bad things with bad people. And that's what happens when your mind is distorted and by the drugs, and that's the devil. It's that's what happens. Why you don't do drugs, kids. What's that guy? The guy from South Park. I can't remember his name. Like, don't do drugs, okay?
Oh, Mr. Mackey.
Okay, okay. What is it, Mr. Mackey?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Mackey. Don't do drugs, kid. Okay, okay. Yeah, you can't do that. You just eat some cheesy puffs and you'll be okay. That's my carton.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure like everyone would agree with me with like everyone on Team Arch. Like we appreciate like the transparency that of when you were telling your story, because I know when we went over the mindset stuff, a lot of us hearing your story from when you were talking, like it gave us like a boost to keep going, pretty much, because you were really honest with what happened and all that. And like I remember thinking back, I was like, dang, dude. I was like, I'm sitting here, I'm not doing anything right now, pretty much. I need to like step it up because like there are people out there that are just crushing it right now, and I'm just sitting on my ass when like I shouldn't, pretty much. So,
Each person has their own journey, their own path. Don't
mm,
compare yourself to what other people are doing. Compare yourself to what yourself is doing. Because there's always gonna be someone doing more than you, and there's always gonna be someone doing less than you. But in the end of the day, the only competition is yourself. The
mm,
goal is to become 1% better every day, move the needle forward every day, take action, be consistent, and like Sam says, be relentlessly consistent. Versus consistency with gasoline on fire. Consistent with gasoline on fire.
mm.
It sounded much better when Sam says it.
Yeah, dude, anything sounds better when Sam says it because you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
He's got a pretty soothing voice.
Mm.
Such a nice tone, and his hair does look good as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. I remember. I think during his last podcast, I was gonna call him, but then I fell asleep during the podcast. That's how soothing it was.
You're gonna call during the podcast?
No, no, I was gonna call after because I was like waiting,
Oh,
and then I fell asleep right after.
hmm, yeah.
Yeah,
I wish I could sleep. I don't sleep.
yeah.
I When I started down this journey last year, I was trying to be Pace Morby in the beginning and go to bed at 11 o'clock. I'd take some melatonin like at 10:30, and then I'd wake up at 3:30.
Mm,
And somehow the melatonin stopped working. I just stopped recently, like a week or so ago, stopped taking it. I was up to 50 and 60 milligrams of melatonin, and I would still wake up after an hour and a half after taking all that melatonin.
mm,
It's like I was telling this other guy that I talked to today, David, I think his name was. Um, he said he was taking up to 6 milligrams, not 60, and he said that was too much for him. Most people start with 5 or less. Like 2 milligrams. I'm taking 50 milligrams, and I'd wake up in an hour. I kid you not, ridiculous. I'd just be like awake. Oh my
yeah.
god. Oh my god. Yeah. So I haven't slept since I've been in this house with this negative energy vampire I live with, the
Mm.
succubus color. Hey Siri, what's the definition of succubus? Oh, you're gonna just clam up on me, Siri. What the hell? Hey Siri, what's the definition of succubus?
Which word? S-U-C-C.
I don't know.
Succubus means a female demon believed to have sexual intercourse with sleeping men.
Well, I didn't have intercourse with her, but she is a female demon, that's for sure. Maybe I didn't. I knew there was a succubus was some type of demon, and it was female, but I didn't know about the sexual part. Um,
Well, I
in the
mean,
middle,
we learned something today.
yeah, in late Middle English from medieval Latin, succubus, prostitute, from succubare, from sub under cubare to lie, so a lying prostitute. So
Mm.
she is lying. She is an evil demon. Hey Siri, what's the definition of succubus? Try the other one.
I'm afraid I couldn't.
Yes, you could. Stop lying. Siri's being a succubus. You're talking all kinds of men every day, Siri. Like billions every day. Hey Siri, what's the definition of succubus?
Which word? S. Succubus means of a liverwort having leaves obliquely inserted on the stem, so that their upper edges are overlapped by
Not
the
that
lower
one.
edges of
Not
the
that one.
leaves above.
Yeah, so the evil female demon that lies, I'm sure, well, she's been bringing home a different guy like every couple nights, bringing bottles of great. I guess I mean, she's pretty good definition of a succubus.
You're like, she matches.
You know, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a succubus.
Hmm. So
Somebody in the
Larry,
future can be like, so you lived with a succubus, huh? Yeah.
but we'll say I was gonna ask. So can you give like a what do you call it? Like a timeline, pretty much, of like how you got started in pretty much real estate?
Yeah. I so um I sold timeshare before, which isn't real estate, but it is in the state of Nevada. It's still it's you're sharing fractional real estate, fractional
Hmm.
ownership. Um, so I never was a realtor. I've never owned a home. Um, Spent 40 years on drugs and alcohol since after my father died when I was a child Thanksgiving morning. This is a very short version. Day before the Super Bowl, February 13th, 2022, I was at a point in my life where I was going to either die or change. And I chose to change. Didn't have a choice. It was either change or die. I was at the end of my rope,
Hmm.
and I found a 1 minute Facebook ad from Pace Morby that sorry um changed my life. Um, at the end of the Super Bowl, I said I'm done, God. I'm done this time for real. I said this man is freaking Willy Wonka. This is my last shot at a golden ticket. So I took my last. Uh, let's see, this is where it gets painful. Trying, having to be vulnerable with it. I've been real. So 32 years of crack and 7 years of smoking heroin.
Hmm.
I took the last hit of each at the end of the Super Bowl, and just for being honesty's sake, that was 14 months ago. Uh, it's the 15th now. Um, I did relapse on April Fool's Day for a few hours, about 10 or so. I didn't keep track, but and I almost lost everything that I've built right now. So, um, and of course, it was April Fool's Day. It's the perfect day. It's very easy to remember the very last day that I actually did, but I started my journey Super Bowl Sunday from there till April 1st, nothing, and then it's April 1st, nothing. Um, it was the most horrible. Because I've been clean before. I went to some of the best rehabs in the country. I've had amazing help from people. Like Paul Newman paid for half of my treatment one time. Only I could mess that up. Um, but um, I've never been sober this long. The longest was maybe a couple months,
Hmm.
three at the most. So that everything I'm doing right now is because I was a child. I was like 13 years old or I was 12 years old when I started smoking marijuana. Uh, Maybe a week or so after my father died, I found a bag of a pot in his drawer when I was rummaging through his drawers. Yeah, and then it just escalated from there. I had no supervision. I was abused as a child, beaten, abused in other ways. And I just went down the wrong path with the wrong people. Um, I kind of asked for it though. I opened the door to that though. And if you're familiar with the book called The Hobbit,
Yeah.
okay, what's the main character's name?
I think, is it Frodo or is it
Bilbo.
Bilbo? Okay,
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo.
So, what did he want?
Let's see. Was it the, because okay, I haven't like read it, but I know like bits and pieces of from
You
like
see the movie?
Yeah, and
So, what
I
did he
did.
want? What did he tell everybody?
Was it adventure? Is that what it was?
No. What did he want? He was forced into the adventure.
Was forced into it.
He wanted to be left alone.
Oh,
Remember? He just wanted to be left alone. He didn't want people to bother him. He just wanted to be left alone. I was reading that at the time, and at my father's funeral in West Virginia, there was a empty viewing room, and there was a picture of the Last Supper.
hmm
Um, I was hurting pretty bad, 12 years old. Like I said, I was abused. I lost my protector. It was a vicious cycle. We owned a bowling alley with a bar in it. My father would come home drunk after I would call him, tell him I got beat up, and he'd come home right away sometimes. But then he beat my mother. Then she beat me, and I would beat my brother. My sisters would beat me. Uh, it was a vicious cycle of violence and other things. Um, so I cursed God and Jesus. I said, "Fuck you. I just want to be left alone."
hmm
I often compare my life to Job. I don't know how familiar you are with the Bible. You know who Job is?
I don't.
Think of him as Elon Musk,
Hmm.
the wealthiest man on earth at that time. He had everything, anything he could want. He was a successful businessman and everything. So in the story of Job, um, God's sitting there, or wherever God's sitting, or not sitting, he's just there, and he sees the devil and Satan. He says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm just going to and fro, trying to cause some trouble." And I mean, I'm not good at quoting the Bible, but God says, "Have you considered my faithful servant Job?" I always believed as a kid. I always believed in God. There was never any question about that. It wasn't forced on me. It was just, it's like I was already. I don't even remember, but I just always have. And, I remember singing, as a kid, singing the songs like, what, I can't remember the songs now. Kids sing the Bible songs and stuff, went to Bible camp and stuff like that. But I
hmm
wasn't forced to. I mean, it's not like like David, row your boat ashore or whatever. There's a bunch of little kids Bible songs. I can't remember them now, but I was always faithful. I always believed, and well, in the story of Job, so that God says, Job would never, um, he would never turn to the devil. You can't break him no matter what you did to him, because he had a hedge of protection around him at the time too. Um, and the devil said, "Well, let me have at him. I can break him." And God's like, "No, you're not going to be able to do it." But so God allowed the devil to have Adam, and he lost everything. He lost his children, his wife, his business, all his riches. He was afflicted with um, it was it was like boils and like an affliction. But
Hmm.
well, I lost my father. I didn't lose all my family or stuff. What I mean, but there was correlations. After my dad died, my uncle ran my dad's business into the ground because he had originally been kicked out for stealing. We lost it to the IRS for $32,893.34 in unpaid taxes. I still the numbers burned into my brain because it was mine, and um, I had my own arcade in 1980 that was making $500-600 a week, which in today's money, that's a lot of fucking money. And so I started losing, but I cursed God. I cursed Jesus. I said, I just want to be left alone. Just leave me the fuck alone. I don't love you anymore. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. But I was hurting. I was a kid. But I got my wish,
Hmm.
in a sense. So leaving a lot of stuff out, but at some point I got involved with drugs, selling drugs. Then I got arrested for selling drugs, cocaine specifically. And at some point, somebody introduced me to crack. And it's not, I don't know about other people, but it wasn't, it took a few times. It's not like the stories back in the 80s and 90s, they're like, one hit and you're fucking up. It took a while. It took a few times. I don't know why I kept doing it, but once it hits you, though, it's one hit's never enough, a thousand's too many. And well, I was one of them functioning addicts. I was highly functional. I've lost better jobs than most people would ever have in some cases. But I spent those 32 years that I was smoking crack. Hey Siri, what's 32 times 365?
Okay, I found this on the web for how many what's 32 times 365. Check it out.
You're not doing any good tonight, Siri.
0 for 2, huh?
Yeah. Hey Siri, 32 times 365.
The answer is 121,180.
So is that it? 32. So 121,000 nights.
Dang.
Is that right?
I don't know. You said 32.
10 would be 36,000. 10 years. Yeah. Holy shit.
That's a lot.
So out of all those decades, I probably spent 100,000 of those nights crying myself to sleep by myself, smoking crack. I wasn't a sharing user. I was a functional. I was bartending, waiting tables, getting cash daily, and as I have to work, I'd stay up. I'd work. I'd go for days at a time. Go to work, buy dope, get high, go back to work. Some days I wouldn't sleep for 3 or 4 or 5 days at a time. If I did, it was an hour here, an hour there, 2 hours. But I was fat, so nobody thought I was a crackhead because everybody thought crackheads were skinny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my wish. I spent at least 100,000 nights by myself. I was not a casual like one hit. Here I'm gonna go buy a dime. I started with $50, $100 every time, and so I got my wish, and I lost everything many times over, like Job did. I've lost whole houses. I've lost cars. I've lost the best jobs. options trader, mercantile exchange, Chicago, life insurance, car salesman, all kinds of different sales things. I got my wish.
Mm-hmm.
I was alone, and I spent most of my life alone. So that's it's really as brutal as honest as I can get. I mean, I don't want it's not necessarily going into all the details of it, but I don't know. I for some reason I thought that was like 12,000, right? Because I've quoted that before. But is that right? Is the math right on that?
I could do it real quick. Let me get my thing out.
32 years.
Yeah, 32 times 12. Is that what it is?
No, 32 times
Oh, my bad.
days. 365 days in a year.
Yeah, 11,680.
Okay. So I was like 100,000. That can't be right, man.
I think Siri added an extra O on that.
Yeah, let's say Siri, what are you doing that for? It sounded good though. It should have just went with 100,000.
Yeah.
So, because I was like, I usually said like 10. So yeah, at least 10,000 nights.
Mm-hmm.
I cried myself to sleep every time, or I didn't sleep at all. And then at some point, there's so many things. I mean, just shit that's really unnecessary to share. But um, I multiple times being in trouble with the law, but people didn't know. They literally didn't know. I hid it very well. Um, I had no responsibilities. I have a possible daughter that's 33, but in the state of Illinois, a girl that she was trying. Everybody told me she looked like me, but I maybe if she would have told me she was mine, I would have done something different. Maybe not, but in the state of Illinois, if you don't claim parental rights in 6 months, there's no judge or jury in the world that can give you the access to a hair, blood, or DNA test to find out. You
Mm-hmm.
lose them forever. There's a book called Father's Rights by Jeffrey Leving, an attorney in Chicago. It's an archaic law in the state of Illinois. It's still on the books. Um, her mother was a cop, by the way. um, so I understand why, but maybe if she would have gave me the option, maybe it would have done something different. But it didn't. I have a lot of regrets, and the one regret is not is I've been very brief periods of sobriety over there, like no more than 3, tops 4 months. I never made it to 6 months anytime. Um, at the end, like I said, at the end of the Super Bowl, I stopped. I asked God to take it away. I said, based on a 1 minute Facebook ad and the possibilities, and I said, this man's Willie freaking Wonka. God, this is my last shot at a golden ticket. Um, I had no idea about pacing his golden tickets event at the time when I said that. I said, I'm done, God. I need all new friends, all new family. My family is the most dysfunctional, negative. Your families are the ones that are going to tell you can't do it because of your past or not, all the negativity. And then you're this. I had to walk away from everybody because they literally left me to die 3 times in Las Vegas. They just said, die, just die. And I didn't do anything to them. My brothers and sisters were mad because my mom, out of guilt, because she could no longer be me. But I always would always ask for help. not directly. Like, I need to go buy dope money, mom. I needed to pay my car payment, or I need money to rent because I didn't want to be homeless. But her and the last stepfather I had, because I had like one, two, three, but she had one of my oldest sisters, not my oldest sister either. She's half. Um, she was married 5 times, but um, they would help me. I'm 1,800 miles away from them in Chicago. My sister, brother, and sister were mad because they were spending their money on me. They would think it was because I'm just the bad sheep, the black sheep. Why would you help the black sheep? So I didn't steal anything from them. I mean, I did steal stuff like I'd steal like stuff that would fit in my pocket, like deodorant and stuff I needed, food and stuff like that. But I also did some other bad stuff too. Um, like just what people do on drugs, and their minds and judgments clouded. But it was mostly out of necessity that I needed something like food or deodorant or body wash or something, toothbrush, stuff like that. I would take anything that would fit in my pocket that I needed. Um, because I spent all my money on drugs, razors, just. But when my stepfather died, and he was a great man, um, he never judged me. He would always, whenever I just had they just, and I didn't talk to them all for a long time because I was ashamed. I had nothing. They would ask me, "Why don't you call or anything?" Why? Because, well, what am I supposed to do? How are you doing, Larry? Well, if I don't lie to them, I'd be like, well, I just spend all my money on crack and go to work. I've never had anything good to say. So why would I call them? I was ashamed. And, um, this was what it is, and is what it was. But they left me. They literally told me to die when I was in Las Vegas 3 times. So the last time I got clean for a brief period before the pandemic. I was doing really good. That was the longest. That was September to. Well, I actually relapsed on Christmas Day of 2019, but I only did it like on the weekends until the pandemic started. And when they said that, and I wasn't on heroin for that time, because I had gotten DVT blood clots in hurricanes in Florida, Ormond Beach, Charlie, Francis, Gene, Ivan, 4 hurricanes, 2 tornadoes, 6 weeks, exact same spot, lost everything else. 48 days, Halifax Medical Center. I swear I'd never live in Florida again. Here I am now. But um, when I was in the hospital, those 48 days, they had me on Demerol. And then when they let me out, they were like, I was like, they're like, wait, no, I can't leave here. You guys I got TV, I got a bathroom right here, and you guys bring me food 3 times a day and Demerol every 2 hours. They're like, no, I want to stay. I want to stay. Um, no, they're like, no, and I was like, well, can I get some Demerol to go? And he's like, no, sir, that's for the cancer patients. I'm like, and so they gave me Oxycontin. And then when the DA started cracking down on patients, they told me I had to go to pain management, which I wasn't really in pain anymore. So I got cut off. So my crack dealer said, "Here, let's try some heroin." I was like, "No, I don't want to shoot anything. I don't want to do no needle." "Oh, you can smoke it." I was like, "I can smoke it." "Oh, okay. Yeah, here, give me some of that." 7 years later. So at the end of the Super Bowl, I quit both those based on that one Facebook ad. No doctors, no rehabs, nothing. Just ask God to take it away. And here I am 14 months later. I went down this real estate rabbit hole, and it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I asked God for all new friends and family, and He gave me the Sub 2 community, the greatest community on earth. And I said this the other night, I said it a few times, I love pace. And there's something really spiritual in Sub 2. There's a lot of people that feel the same way. It's just like community is just amazing. A lot of us see the angel numbers together, and we're all like, there's some synchronicity. Jesus was a carpenter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Pace is Jesus, but it's pretty damn close.
Yeah, the little similarities and all that.
Mm-hmm. Go giver. We're all his flock. We're not his sheep, but we're all, he calls it clones. We're all clones of him,
Mm-hmm.
which could be disciples. I'm not saying he's Jesus, but man, there's some pretty cool similarities. He's the most giving, gives so much time to us in his community. But he does have a beard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've went down this real estate journey, and it's been one challenge after another that I've had to overcome. But I've had people to support me, encourage me, and believe in me, and teach me, and push me, and pull me, and um, it's finally all coming together. I did a lot of things on faith, um, but I'm never going back ever. There's nothing, like hypothetically, and they say that we're all gonna take a mark of the beast or whatever, and it's 666, all that shit. Somebody told me, "Wait, you got to do drugs again," or I'm like, I'm done. Okay, I'm good. Just take me out, because that was 40 years of hell. I was 12. I was 52 last year when I stopped. There's a lot of correlation there. There's 40 days and nights, 40 days in the wilderness, 40 years in the wilderness for the Moses, and then being one. There's a lot of 40s in the Bible. So like I said, Job, but in the end, Job got everything back and more, because the devil couldn't break him. I might have been mad that time, but I was a kid. I was 12. I didn't mean it. What I said, I meant it, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And so you lash out sometimes at the people you love, or Jesus or God, I lashed out at. But I've never. Every time I was thought it was the end or something, God always shows up at the last minute, or I can do things on faith. Like right now, I should be anxious and worried about what's going to happen. This succubus here, um, female demon, which she probably is. That's what. That's when you're close to your success. That's when the devil will come at you hardest. He's going to try and, he has no hold over me now with the drugs anymore. So he's coming at me different ways. And I know I'll be okay. I've always ended up being okay. I died 3 times in Los Angeles. I should have died a bunch of other times. 7, 8. It's going on 8 years. It'll be 8 years in September. My heart stopped 3 times. And it's why I don't want to try and glorify the usage that I did, but I shouldn't be here. I really shouldn't. If you all the yeah. People say, well, your reason here is the reason you're still alive. We're here to help people, change somebody's life. And that's what I do, Larry the Lion. In God's line. Um, I that's why I want to be truthful, encourage people and show them what's possible. Now that everybody, like my family and all, walked away, there, my brother was always really vocal in the beginning. I had to block him on Facebook because I left them all on there, so he could see me rise up. Yeah, so they were all hoping I would fail or predicting I would, or I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all the sub 2 students that have helped me financially or through encouragement and support. I'm always going to pay it back or pay it forward. But I don't want to let anybody down. And so I said to Sam, he goes, dude, why do you work so hard? And because I made promises to people, let alone myself, that I don't want to be known as a liar or like, oh, he just, had, that's what my brother would say in me. You're just lying to all these people. You're up to something. This is some kind of scheme to do this and do that. No, but I needed help, and I've gotten the help, but I'm not gonna let anybody down. And I always self-sabotaged. Times I had so many opportunities that I instead of laying into the opportunities like I'm laying into arch and leaning into it, I would just self-sabotage because I was afraid of getting successful and then laying everybody down, and losing it all. So I just rather lose it early before I got too far. There's a lot more detail, all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff happened, but
Yeah, you don't have to get into it like that much, Larry, if you don't want to. Let me interject because I haven't been talking like at all this whole time. I just been like leaving it on your shores this whole time. But what I want to say is I'm glad you're here, like for real. Because when I think back of it, the first time I actually like what was it? Was like inspired by you was when I just joined the voice call for like little context. Me and Larry are in this thing called Team Arch, and we have like a Discord, and we're all doing like this direct to agent stuff. And the first time I jumped into the voice channel for like the general, because I was afraid to jump in, if I'm being honest. I'm one of those introverted people, and I don't really like talking to people, but I saw Larry in there. And I remember from, I think earlier that day, there was like a mindset thing, and you told your story on there, and like it blew me away pretty much what you were telling me. I was like, wow, this guy is really honest about everything that's going on. And so that's what actually encouraged me to go into the voice channel the first time in like just the general. So like I just want to say like thank you for all that, for like your honesty and like your integrity that you're pretty much saying like I'm trying to be a man of my word, trying to make do all my promises and all that. Cuz I agree with that. Cuz that's what I'm struggling with right now too is just making do on my promises pretty much. Cuz right now I don't feel like I'm a man of my word at the moment. Like I had like little intervention thing and I realized no one like had faith in me pretty much. And I was like, dang, it's because I haven't actually shown anybody that I've done anything. And so seeing you out here being like just honest, integrity, always on the phones pretty much. Like every time I'm like in the voice call with you, you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna make a call, and then you're always getting calls. It's like it's amazing to see. And and correct me if I'm wrong. Were you the first one to like get like a contract pretty much in like the team? Yeah, dude, that was amazing to me because like it just like because nobody was getting contracts for a little bit. I mean, yeah, we just started, but just to see you get it like the first one, and then you got like a couple more right after that, right?
I don't have anything signed yet, but there's a few good ones in the works.
Yeah. So like just seeing the amount of progress you've had just like in the short time you've been here, like it amazes me and like it encourages me to like get on the phone, which I hate doing. Like I hate talking to agents. But like just seeing you
Wow.
crush it like that, it's amazing.
Do you like talking to sellers?
I just don't like talking to people. That's
So
my
yeah.
thing.
So quit reaffirming that to yourself. Don't say I hate, because you're reaffirming that.
Hmm.
Make it a game.
Yeah.
Have fun. Just don't worry about, like, it's not going to make or break you if you don't get that agent to commit to Oprah seller financing or subject to.
Hmm.
Just go in there and make some mistakes and then laugh about it, like, oh man, I could have just said that before. Oh, and just
Yeah.
have fun with it. Oh well, you can't get them all. Like, just make it a game, But
Mm.
you have to take some action. You gotta, be vulnerable. But it gets easier once you start doing it, and then you start failing, and you learn from your mistakes. And fail. Not saying that I learned anything, because I made a lot of mistakes and I didn't learn from them in my life. But the mistakes I'm making now are good mistakes, and I'm learning. But the only way you're gonna learn is by taking action, making mistakes. Pace is the first thing Pace tells you. I only want to work with action takers.
Hmm.
Go out there and make mistakes. Fail forward. Fail faster. And then once you start learning things, give it away, because you don't truly learn until you start giving it away. Whether you know it all or not, you just start. Just be consistent. Consistency is the most important thing. You have to be consistent. Besides taking action, you need to be consistent, because you can be an action taker on Saturday, but you're not an action taker on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Hmm.
So, well, I did take action. Okay, great. Saturday. What'd you do on Monday? Tuesday. Did you take an action on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Consistency.
Hmm.
Start out small. 40 minutes, hour, 2 hours. Go incremental. Commit to it. Make a promise to yourself. Having somebody accountable. Tell your wife, or your friend, or teammate, hey, if you don't see me taking action at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, because I get off work at 2 o'clock, because I go in at 6, and then I come home for 2 hours. And then my wife gets home, and I gotta watch the kid. Whatever you're doing, just block off the time. Be consistent.
Hmm.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not good at blocking off time, but I am good at taking action once I start. It's the hard part is starting for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired right now. I haven't slept so long, like weeks, um, out of anxiety, and I don't know why, because there's nothing to worry about. Sorry, because God's always gonna be there for me. Wow, it's been 47 minutes already. Holy shit!
Yeah. I didn't think it was gonna be that long, to be honest.
Well,
I was
careful.
surprised.
That's what happens when I talk to people. Like, I talked to Bill for 4 hours on a call. Part of the reason also I do my podcast, because I don't like being alone anymore, but I don't have any choice right now. I don't have relationships built where I can physically, hey, Gustavo, let's go hang out, because we're not going to go to a bar, because I don't drink and stuff anymore. I can have a beer or something once in a while, but we're not going to go burn a fatty on the beach, and um, but I don't watch TV. I don't watch sports. I don't watch the news. If I do go see a movie, it's in the theater. Okay, maybe go see a movie, Gus.
Hmm.
Or not, maybe get something to eat. That would be something cool. But we're not gonna go to the bar every Friday night and watch the Bears and the Bulls and whatever team are. Not like it was all distractions. It's those have always been distractions. The Coliseums and everything. Like Caesar said, give them bread and circuses. They'll never rise up against you, because you're pacified. You're distracted. You have something to look forward to. Hey, Gus, the Gladiators are fighting tigers this week instead of lions. Let's go see it Sunday. Yeah, let's go. Let's watch them Gladiators get chopped up by the lions today. That's what people look forward to. They look forward to the spectacle. Oh, they got the halftime show is gonna be them girls from Saudi Arabia. You know, they slaves that they brought in. You know, and then the lions are gonna eat the girls after the gladiators. It's gonna be really cool. That shit really happened though.
Oh,
You know, all that shit was there. That's what it was. You know, gladiators would fight, and then people got bored of the gladiators fighting, so they started having the gladiators fight animals, bears, tigers, lions. And then they throw a bunch of slaves in there and do like performances, but everybody always ended up getting killed. So, and people are, why would you root for, like I said, I only go see a movie in the theater. The last movie I saw before this current last one was Avatar, and I
mhm.
very much enjoyed the character that when I did go see in the first three episodes or movies, and I love Keanu. He's a great guy. He's really a good person. But when I'm sitting there watching John Wick this last time, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm gonna wait. John Wick, I've been waiting for this, right? It was the third one. Everything was great. I was a different person when I watched John Wick 3. And I'm sitting in there and I'm like, man, even though it was a recliner, I'm kicked back and legs up, and it's 2.5 hours, 3 hours of people murdering each other.
Mhm.
I'm like, why did I choose this? Why did I think I would enjoy this? Why? Because I hadn't seen anything like that. The last movie was Avatar before that, and then I think a couple of the other last ones were like Maverick, uh, the new Tom Cruise Top Gun. There was nothing inspiring or encouraging or awesome about John Wick 4. It's just one man murdering other men, shooting very violently, very very violent. I don't see why we. That's what they want to distract you with, and there's. I didn't enjoy it, but I sat through it because I paid for it. I thought maybe I'd enjoy it or some point or something. I mean, there was a couple okay parts, but after a while, it's just, man, really? That's all this is? This is just 3 hours of John Wick brutally killing other people? And that's not my thing anymore. I don't enjoy seeing this stuff. Um, it's going to give me pause before I do watch another movie. I'm going to make sure that I should have went and saw Creed. I think I would have liked that better, even
Mhm.
though that is brutal boxing. You know, the Apollo Creed's son, Rocky fought Apollo. I don't know if you know, watched all the Rocky movies, right?
Oh yeah.
No. So even that's still brutal. It's men beating each other like the gladiators. They're beating each other to death almost. I mean, how many boxers have died from a boxing match, right? There's just men physically trying to beat the shit out of each other, but with gloves on and in a spotlight, in a spectacle. So I don't even know if I would have enjoyed that. What would be inspiring so much about that? You know?
Mhm.
And people don't see it from that angle anymore. But I see it at that angle now because I'm not that person anymore. I'm not the person I was 14 months ago. I'm not even close. And even Avatar was like freaking 4 hours long. I fell asleep. I love falling asleep in movies now. Um, uh, I only go where there's a recliner where they kicks up, the luxury ones. So I'm gonna pay $15. I might as well pay 18 or 20 and have the recliner, right?
Yeah.
Kickback, you know. Man, I wish I had money to go see movies. That'd be nice. I'd go kick back because get away from the succubus here. But even in Avatar, it was killing and fighting. These people trying to kill this species because they're a species, and they're trying to kill this whatever kind of alien animal thing that was. It was like a Moby Dick thing kind of thing. A few things, but um, um, yeah. So, and even football, it's still battle. It's still a war. You know, the gridiron. It's the war between the Chiefs. I didn't even know who was playing in the Super Bowl till I went after I left Starbucks, where I was podcasting because another long story, but I didn't even know who was playing the Philadelphia Eagles because I briefly watched the NFC Championship game and I got bored with it and I started doing some real estate and while I was watching it. I wasn't even watching it, but I wanted to go watch the Super Bowl because it was a habit. Everybody else did, but I wanted to go get something to eat, a nice dinner. My buddy Josh sent me a gift card to go to Texas Roadhouse in New Philadelphia, Ohio, where I was still at the time watching. But I didn't even know the Chiefs were playing until I got there. I was like, I sat down at the bar. I go, did it start yet? And they're like, no, not yet. And I was like, who's playing? And they had like 6 people all turned their head at me and sitting in the bar. The bartender snapped around. Are you playing it? And I'm like, no. I mean, I was like, I don't know who's playing. And they're like, shut up. What? And then I had to proceed to tell them I quit watching the news because I don't watch the news, so I don't see the sports section of the news. I don't read newspapers. I don't watch Yahoo News or MSN News or any of that. Because if something's happening, Gus, you watch the news, right?
No,
Okay.
I'm like you, Larry. I don't watch the
Okay.
news. I don't watch TV.
Let's
I
say,
barely go outside.
if something happening, like a balloon from China flying over the country or a train blowing up, somebody that does watch the news is going to be like, dude, you hear about the Chinese spy balloon? No, but I know you're going to tell me about it. Because you wasted 45 minutes of your time watching the nightly news and reading about it in your Yahoo briefs or whatever Thank you for being the provider of the news. I don't need to watch the news because something if there's a nuclear missile, somebody's going to say, dude, the nukes are coming from Russia. Awesome. Thank you. Needed to know that. That's good info. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Why waste 30 minutes? You can watch financial news and stuff, somewhat, But again, like Pace is going to tell me that the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates 3 times this year. That's good for us real estate investors because we buy things creatively.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad for normal people, but I don't need to watch the news. No matter what, I don't need to spend any time doing that because it's important to me. I don't need to sit there and watch stock. I just don't need to do it. I don't. So I had no idea who was playing in the Super Bowl until I sat down at the bar and I seen they didn't. Chiefs. I was like, oh, awesome. I go, the Chiefs are gonna win.
Yeah, I don't know anything about football either. Like, I'm just so out of the sphere.
I spent so much time watching sports. I ain't gonna lie. If Michael Jordan was playing, I'd be all up on the shit, even if he's in his old age. But Michael Jordan and the Bulls did get me through a lot of Christmas. I spent Christmas Day watching the Bulls game was my only highlight a lot of times because I spent a lot of Christmas by myself because I was on drugs. It was the only thing I looked forward to was watching Michael and the Bulls. I'm from Chicago. And that's the only reason I watched that one minute Facebook ad because it was a reference to Space Jam. Pace was saying, and he said, I seen LeBron, and I was ready to swipe up on my phone. I'm like, oh fuck, LeBron. I was like, and then he said, not that one, the good Space Jam, and he showed a picture of Mike. I was like, oh wait, he likes Michael. Well, I might have to watch this. And then he referenced a couple more times. He's like, Pace was saying like, I'm like the Michael Jordan of creative financing, knocking down buzzer shots, beating buzzer beaters. I was like, oh, this dude likes Michael. Oh, I'm really watch this dude. Watch the end of the ad. Then I was like, wait. I rewatched again. And I'm like, hey, I can buy a house using none of my personal credit anonymously. They don't know that I did all these drugs and stupid shit I did, and I'm doing it through a limited liability corporation. I don't know what the hell that is yet, but I can do this without any credit, without any cash, using other people's money. Oh, there's a scam here. And then I went down the rabbit hole for 7 hours. There's that seven again, me and my angel numbers. 7 hours I spent because I remember what time it was when I started, when I saw the video, and when I stopped, and I was like, and I thought about it all night long, waiting for the Super Bowl to come on. And I'm sitting there getting high and drunk, high, thinking like, no, this can't be real. And I looked for dirt on him. I looked for nothing.
I did the same thing when I found out about Pace. I was like, dude, there's no way this guy is what he says he is.
Right.
And then it's like, you can't find anything. Like,
you can't find any dirt on him. There's
Yeah, it's
nothing
like-
bad on the internet to say about the man.
dude, it's insane. So I was like, dang, this guy, he might actually be the guy. Like, and then he is.
He is, because look, I'm proof. I mean, if I can change my life and buy my first real estate deal using other people's money, none of my own credit, and it's going to go through my Lion and Mars Investments LLC.
Yeah, it's amazing.
True.
Yeah.
No.
Was Larry, you okay with ending it like right here, or you want to keep going?
It's up to you.
Okay. Let's see. What was it? Do you have
Maybe
like
when-
your?
A couple more questions or something first.
I'll be honest. I did not have that many questions. That's why I was like, because that's why I wasn't talking too much. I think that's my problem. I should have brought more questions with me, because I was like, I had like a walk, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just ask Larry this and that and this and that, and then
But
I got
you
here,
write them down.
yeah, and I was like, oh, they're all gone, dude.
But see, that's where you need to be consistent, because then you'll
Mhm.
now you know. Oh, I need to have questions prepared, and then you'll discover something each time you do your podcast. You're gonna be like, oh man, I mean, you learned today. Yeah, I can share it on stream. I can put him on here. You'll learn because you got to fail to fail forward. You got to make mistakes, but it starts with being consistent and taking action. So you took action today. Now it's you got to be consistent with taking action. Now you got to do an interview with somebody else next week, or
Mhm.
me again, or whoever. But now then you have to hey, I want to ask these questions. I want to get these answers because this is what the content I want my people to see.
Mhm.
So it's always a learning experience about me moving the needle forward. Who am I to be giving people advice on life?
Well, you have your own podcast, Larry. So I appreciate the advice.
I forgot about that.
Larry the Live. I mean, Larry the Lion. My man.
Right? Larry the Liar used to be.
No, I said Larry
Lion.
the Live. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I didn't even think about Larry the Lion because it's pretty perceived as a liar, or Larry is Lion. No, I'm not. I'm Larry the Lion. I'm not Larry Lion. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth, brutally.
Yeah.
But see, you learned something. You made a mistake. You didn't take notes, and you didn't have questions prepared. But now you know that for the next episode.
Mhm.
Then you should have some theme music, like what's that song?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Next episode. I don't even sing that. Did I get it even right? I didn't get it right. But
Oh yeah.
what was
Was
that?
it?
Tupac or something, or Snoop Dogg, or
Is there like a way to what was it? Is there like a way to link your like socials to this? Like on StreamYard?
Oh yeah. When you do the broadcast, you gotta add your Facebook. You can send it to LinkedIn, Twitter. You used to be able to do Instagram, but something's messed up now. But
Well, I mean, like for your stuff, like so I could like plug you in on the screen so they could see like your YouTube channel and all that.
you see, since you're not doing this in a live format, which
Hmm.
I think you should do instead of recording these, you
Okay.
can do it in the comments. But since you only have private chat, you don't have any comments because you're not podcasting anywhere. So
Okay.
there's no incoming comments and there's no outgoing comments. So you need to start doing a live,
All right. That'll be the next one then.
right?
We'll be live.
Where when you click on comments, there's nothing there. So that would be where, hey Larry, could you share your YouTube channel name in there?
Yeah. That's what they do. And
All
I
right,
thought you could just do like this.
let me type it in the comments for the viewers out there and the
Mm.
viewers in the future. You know, it's Larry. It's at Larry the Lion on YouTube. It's Larry the Lion 316 on Twitter. Larry the Lion 316 on TikTok. It's Larry the Lion Parsons on Instagram, and I'm just Larry Parsons on Facebook, and Larry Parsons on LinkedIn. Because you can do LinkedIn, you can do Twitter, you can do Twitch, you can do a whole bunch of things. I don't know what Twitch is, but it sounds pretty twitchy.
It's just a
Isn't that
live stream thing.
Character from South Park, Twitch or Tweaker, or whatever.
Tweak. Yeah.
Tweak.
He's always on coffee and all that.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Him and Towley. I'm Mr. Chow. You got any cocaine? That's not funny. It is, but it's not.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well,
I guess I'll just end it right here then.
I kind of want to watch some South Park right now. Some Tolly, that'd be funny. Some funny shit. He's stupid, but that's all that time that they're all that stuff is a distraction. It's not to people don't realize what TV and that shit does to you. It dumbs you down. It's you're wasting time being creative, watching somebody else's creativity. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you shouldn't be like that. Should not be your honey. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I will watch Yellowstone, but I'm not gonna plan my day around watching Yellowstone. I'm not gonna be like, it's Sunday night, Yellowstone is on. We're sitting down. We're like when we were kids, like there was this show called Love Boat and Fantasy Island, and it was Saturday night, Friday night. They had bar pizzas in the bar. All your pizzas that you buy frozen in the supermarket all started in bar. Well, not they get other ones that were purposely started to be frozen, but Tombstone Pizza. You're familiar with that, right?
No.
Oh, shut up, Gus. You better not make me come over there.
Is that like a type of pizza or
you don't buy frozen pizza?
no?
What?
No, I can't even remember the last time I bought frozen pizza.
Dude, you've never had a Tombstone pizza? Oh my god!
I don't think so.
That was one of the first. Tony's was the first. Like, and Tony was there, and then a whole bunch of. But Tombstone, dude, it's like super famous. Are you crazy? Gus, come on, you fucking. With me.
No, I've never seen Tombstone.
You never had a Tombstone pizza.
No.
Go buy one next time. But anyways, it started in bars. So we had them in our bar at the bowling alley in Chicago, Northwest Indiana. So my dad would bring a bunch stacked home, and that's what we did. We sat in front of the TV on TV trays like this. That we'd watch on the couch. Dad's in a chair, and we'd be on the couch and be sitting there watching Love Boat and Fantasy Island, having pizza time. So instead of eating at the dinner table, we're eating on TV trays.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the big Saturday night. We're not at a table conversing. We're watching Fantasy Island and Love Boat, other people's imaginary fake lives. Distraction, meant to keep you preoccupied. It's just another form of circusism bread.
Have you ever heard about Ed Milet, Larry?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I remember I was walking and like I listened to one of his things, and he was talking about the like distractions and all that, and getting like passive pretty much, or content. I think it was the word, with like how things are going, and then you just don't want to make any changes or anything or improve.
Mhm.
And that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, they want you to be pacified. Here, just go home, watch your. I don't even know what TV shows there are anymore, but because I don't watch TV.
Uh,
Go watch
Big Bang
Grey's
Theory or something.
Anatomy. Go watch, watch the Lakers and the Bulls. Watch the Red Wings and the Blackhawks, or Chiefs and Steelers, whatever. I mean, those. Watch Tiger Woods. You're standing there watching a man stand on some grass outside where you should be. And he missed the putt. Damn it! Then you're betting on this shit, gambling. It's all distractions.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't gonna lie, I will watch Yellowstone and Kevin Costner. I'm down for that. It's because it's beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful scenery in there. It's kind of cool. It's still fake, but Kevin Costner was a good actor. There's some good actors. There's some good acting. There's a time to do that, and it's in the theater. If you're gonna go see a movie, don't make your movie night around your 80-inch screen at home. It's great. It's good on your big TV, but not like going to the theater and if you eat popcorn and like Coca-Cola or whatever. Dude, I went there to the theater. My God, they wanted like $12 for a bag of freaking popcorn. Like this, what? I was like, shit, bro, you motherfuckers, you are high. You crazy. They had like a special. You get a drink. It was like $22 for, a popcorn and a drink, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What? 22? Are you? Well, these people are crazy. Crazy. Even that, I'm just. But if I'm gonna go watch a movie, I'm not gonna sit there and Netflix and chill with you, baby. Let's go see it in the theater. If we're gonna Netflix and chill, let's call some agents in Hawaii and chill. You call, I'll call, I'll close for you, I'll warm it up. Let's get paid. Let's make some money so we can actually go to fucking Hawaii instead of sitting and watching Fantasy Island where they're on the island doing all the shit you want to do, or on that cruise boat, the Love Boat. That's way before your time. You're like,
I don't know what Love Boat is. Yeah.
Love Boat. Yeah, showing my age there.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Gilligan's Island when you said that.
Pretty much same shit.
Oh, okay.
Let's go make some money so we can go to freaking Gilligan's Island instead of watching it on TV. Let's do, like Sam says, money making activities, not shiny object syndrome. TV is shiny object syndrome. I'm sorry, folks, but you have really bad shiny object syndrome if you watch TV more than 3 times a week. You're fucked up. You're wasting your life. You're wasting the opportunities and precious time that you have. You're never going to get any of that time back. Just once your time is gone, it's gone. So take action. Be consistent. And I'm going to go. Let's get in here in like 3 minutes. I got to go up to Publix and get some food and see if the guy's there with who has the $1 million property for $500,000. I know he's going to be up there buying tickets. And I've figured out how to work. He's not going to let anybody put it on a contract. He doesn't want it to be shopped around. He wants somebody that's going to purchase it, and he wants to sell it to the owner, the new owner that's going to take care of it. That's me. And I'm the owner. I'm the guy that's going to run that and make it into sober living or something. It is affordable housing right now, but he's only charging $1,200 when a 1-bedroom apartment a block away is going for $1,000. So he's behind the times. He needs. I'll make sure. I promise him that it's still gonna be good. It's still gonna be affordable housing, but it's gonna help people. It's gonna be sober living. That's what I want to make that multifamily. And the 3 extra lots there, I want to build developments on them for more sober living. You know, it's just the bus line there. There's a lot of jobs right there. I mean, possible jobs. You know, it's up to this. It's up to them and the sober living. They gotta jump on the bus and go somewhere and get a job, or like me. But I don't. Working is not working anywhere. It's just that's a distraction too. You're gonna make somebody else rich, or you're gonna be rich because if you're working an hourly job, you're just your time. You're selling your time, and you're gonna be 65 years old, 75, whatever. Yeah, I plan on living to 150. You ain't going to Mars, you know. Why not? That's my end game is to go to Mars. That's why I'm lying in Mars investments.
Mm-hmm.
I have this Frankenstein device in here. When I died, it's a pacemaker that keeps my heart from stopping. They literally delayed going to surgery because they never had to order one for me, but God didn't give them any time. You better put something together. They had two different companies because it's either there's two main pacemaker makers, St. Jude's and Boston Scientific.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is a fusion of both companies that shouldn't have been done. It's doable, but it's very rare.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have time to wait to get one of the actual devices that they needed, so they had to Frankenstein to keep me alive.
Dang.
Because my heart stopped 3 times, and if it wasn't for my nurse, I love all nurses, God bless her, I wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, when I woke up, you ever see Total Recall?
Yeah, I seen that one. Yeah.
The first one?
Yeah.
Arnold?
Not the second one. The first one.
Okay. So the first one. Remember when they put the spy chip in him and he woke
Yeah.
up? When I woke up out of surgery, I didn't even know I was in there because I didn't know I died. I don't remember falling asleep or whatever. For 7 hours, I think it's 7 hours. I see that at 7 again. She stayed by my bed and they put a heart thing on me. And they didn't even had to do because it wasn't where my heart had a heart attack and they needed to do the whatever they call that shit. But there was a thing that had to she had to monitor me and had to pop, you know. But when I woke up, there was all these shiny lights. There was these nurses with face masks on, and all dressed in whatever color shit they were wearing. But there was like scalpels within like arm reach of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I seen the door where I'm laying on the bed, and I'm like, oh shit, they put the fucking spy chip in me. I was like, I gotta kill everybody in this room and get out that door. I was literally reaching for the scalpel. There's a nurse here and a nurse here, and I was gonna go swipe this neck and go for that door. The door opened, and in walks this guy. It's still everything's bright, and it came into focus. And I was like, I'm reaching. I'm like reaching over there. Before I touched him, I was like, wait a minute, I know this guy. I was like, he's the anesthesiologist who was telling me that we don't know if we can put you under because you're so fat. He didn't say it like that, but I was so fat that there's complications. I didn't know what he meant by complications, but I was like, I'm sorry. He comes over. He's like, calm down. It's okay. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. You have to kill these bitches. And he's like, it's okay. We've heard this before. I was like, fuck you mean you heard this before?
They're like, this is the second time, like today.
We didn't want to put you under because people have come out of. You heard that we're going to kill the bitches that are saying right. People get homicidal thoughts when they do this when we come out of this. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry. They're like, it's okay. No, it's not. He's like, it's okay, really. I'm like, all right. I literally thought they put the spy chip in me, and I strike me down right now, God, if this is not true what I said. I literally was going to reach myself up and cut her throat in this throat and go out that door. I thought I had to kill everybody in the room. I still think they put the spy chip in me because I would still want to go to Mars. Remember?
Yeah, the goal is to go to Mars.
I think Oh, see, the plot thickens.
You just gotta wait for Elon Musk to open his little space station stuff.
Well, see that that's part of my journey here. When I started on this journey, I got the visions. All right, people are gonna think I'm nuts. They're like, "Oh, Gus, you put a nutbag on your show."
Don't worry, if you want something cut out, I'll cut it out.
Hold on, this is my little Asian girlfriend from Taipei. That's okay. Have a safe flight back to Taipei. I'm in a podcast interview right now. So originally, when I left Las Vegas, I was on my way to go after I went to the real estate meetup in California. This is the longer story, the short version. I was on my way to Pace's office after I go to the Grand Canyon that I'd lived by for 10 years and never been to. Drove past it 4 times, 78 miles from Las Vegas. How the fuck happened? I've never been to the Grand Canyon. 78 miles from it. How do you do that? You don't go to the Grand Canyon. It's only 78 miles from it. It was like the most famous thing on earth next to the pyramids and shit, Is there anything else more famous than those things? Maybe Stonehenge. Stonehenge, the Easter Island, pyramids, Machu Picchu.
I don't even remember those world wonders anymore. I should, because I play a game where you have to know that stuff, but I don't remember that no more.
So, I was on my. If you ever read the book, I have it right here. Oh shit!
Oh, it's green.
Green. Oh. Think and Grow Rich.
I'm reading that right now. Actually, well, I have it on the audiobook. Is what I'm listening to.
So how does it start off?
Shoot, let's see. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I know it's like so far I'm at the point where it's like don't let yourself get like influenced. Pretty much is what it was saying, to like steal your mind, kind of, because everything around you is just trying to influence you.
Very first part is you have to have a burning desire, right? And you have to take action on a burning desire. You have to have a burning desire, and you have to have a destination, a goal. Edwin C. Barnes. Now you remember?
A little bit.
What did Edwin C. Barnes want?
Was he the steel guy, or?
No, that's a little bit. Edwin C. Barnes. He wanted to work with Thomas Edison, not for Thomas Edison. The very first thing in the book. So there's a difference working for somebody and with somebody, right? So he left upstate New York, got on a train. It was all in. He was leaving his family and everything about to go work and become an inventor with Thomas Edison. With, not for. So every day he walked into the offices, Mr. Edison, I want to work with you. Get the hell out of here. Next day, dude, I told you, get the hell out of here. Next day, Mr. Edison, I want to work with you. Nope, get out of here. Finally, Mr. Edison, all right, let me give you a chance. Go work in the mailroom or whatever, some meaningless bullshit job. Go sweep the floors. But he still kept on, I want to work with you. Every day he'd say that to him. And then he went and swept the floors or whatever. Finally, he ended up working with him, and he had this, I forget what invention it was, but he went on to become a very wealthy man himself. And the thing is, he wanted to work with and not for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he took action, and he was consistent, and he had a burning desire, and he had a goal. That's what you need. You have to take action. You have to be consistent. You have to have a burning desire. My burning desire is to own multi-families and have help the homeless and sober living. And here it goes. I was on my way to Miami after I left Vegas in November to go to because I needed to get out of Vegas, just needed to change from the drugs and stuff and all that. But it's the only city that was close to Vegas and atmosphere and neon and stuff what I like. Plus, there's a nice beach there and some hot girls. But I was gonna walk into Grant Cardone's office every day. Mr. Cardone, I want to work with you. The fuck out, even Grant Cardone. Get the fuck out of here, Mr. Cardone. Mr. Cardone, I want to work with you. I was gonna walk in his office every day until he hired me to work with him.
Mhm.
But he's not the prize. I didn't want to really work with Grant Cardone, but he was a stepping stone to who I really want to work with. Can you guess who that is?
Is it Pace?
No.
No.
He's my buddy. My buddy.
Okay. Sam?
No. You said his name a few minutes ago.
Shoot. Is it Ed Milet? Oh, oh my God. I should have guessed that actually. Yeah. Elon Musk.
Lion and Mars. I want to the way was to get to go to Grant Cardone, learn multifamily from the biggest multifamily operator in the country. So I could go to Texas to work with Elon and build multifamily for Boca Chica, where SpaceX is the headquarters and is going to be the epicenter of going to Mars.
Mhm.
That's the short version. We ain't got time for the long version. I got to go over to plug it because they close in 20 minutes.
All right.
So that's my end game. That's where I'm going to die. And then, like I said, I already got a pacemaker. When I said I want to live to 150 and more, I'm going to, because I believe in life extension ecology. That's things I want to. I like artificial intelligence. I like science. I like the technology. If there's an old show in the 1970s called $6 Million Man, Steve Austin, the astronaut, you know it?
Yeah.
You know it? Oh, you do? All right, that's me. I'm gonna be $6 Million Man. Shit, I need some knees, bionic knees.
Just put them on.
I need a bionic dick. Maybe. Just kidding. I don't need one. They don't call me Big Larry because I was fat lately. They call me. There's a reason they call me Big Larry. I have the of a lion. But no, I'll do the Neuralink. I don't care. People are like, why would you do that? Are you nuts? What if artificial intelligence takes you over? So what? We're gonna die either way. At one point, you're not gonna make it out of this life alive. Why not try it? Why not go to Mars if I had the opportunity? Oh, I don't want to go to Mars. Why? You want to stay here and watch TV and die on your couch? Fuck that shit. I'm going to fucking Mars. Or I'm going to die trying. One of the two. That's it. That's my end game. That's the end game for me is get. Yeah, I believe you have to make humanity a multi-planetary species to survive. Elon Musk is a brilliant man. We are in a population decline. And look at Japan. Perfect example. There's not enough young people to support the aging population they have. It's in reverse. It's like this. It's inward instead of this. They don't have a base. The base is shrinking. The base, the age of the population is this is the top of the pyramid. It's going like this.
Yeah, it's the flip triangle.
Yeah. So, and that's what a lot of countries are. Italy's another one of those. That's why so many elderly died in Italy during the pandemic because they don't have a population that can support that. It was actually a good thing for Italy in a way. I mean, there was nothing good about the pandemic, but there's no you can't continue like that. You have to all this birth control. It's all control. It's all to control. There's enough. We can feed every person on this planet without doing genetic modifications and all that. It's all the suppressed things that they've suppressed to keep us down, to keep us under control. Food is one way to control you. If you're depending on somebody to give you food because they're growing and everything, and then there's limited supply, and you're like, oh, it's to keep you under control. It's there's 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 Google it, folks. Whoever's watching this future, it might be 50 years from now, and you might have already discovered this, but if you electrify your crops, they can there's like you literally put electricity into them and grow abundant masses of food. But they suppress those things, just like water can run a car. Literally, you don't need electric, you don't need gas. There's suppressed technology. Come on, if you really think they pulled them fucking giant blocks up and built that period, you're on more drugs than I was on. Trust me. Ain't nobody fucking taking some wood logs and putting fucking 500-ton blocks, 2.3 million of those blocks to build the Great. 2.3 million of those giant stones to build the Great Pyramid. Just think about it, folks. 2.3 million. Why don't you count 23 of your couch and stack it up, and then times it by 20 million? That's the Great Pyramid. You think they put them big blocks all the way up the top there? Oh yeah, they had land and they went. You're fucking high. I'm more drunk than I was. Y'all better wake up. Anyways, hey, thanks for having me on, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Larry. Let me end the thing right now.
Oh yeah.